Alright guys, we are on day 3 of Pride Month, and we've already seen some crazy virtue signaling from a lot of the activists on Twitter. Companies like Riot Games, where the studio head for Valorant has already come out and issued this crazy statement about how they're basically just going to start going after anybody that they don't like for saying things that they disagree with. And of course, Valorant's a very woke game that's got a very, we'll say, diverse fan base, and Valorant already changed their logo for Pride Month here on Twitter, so they're one of these virtue signaling companies that just... They're going to do whatever they need to look the part, even if they don't even care about diversity and inclusion. They're just going to virtue signal their way into your wallet. Of course, we've also seen Square Enix do this. Packer Girl pointing out that Square Enix fully yassified their profile with the little rainbow flag here, of course. You know, Square Enix hashtag pride in the logo here. Just disgusting, to be honest. Archcast has pointed out there that there are a lot of other companies who have yet to do so. Bethesda, Blizzard, Google, Xbox. Now, this was a day ago. I haven't gone and followed up to make sure none of these companies have actually, stuck to this. But people like Yellow Flash saying, hey, just give it time. They'll bend the knee. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pushback this year. The last couple of years, people have just gotten kind of sick and tired of the pointless, empty virtue signaling. Packer Girl also pointing out that Nintendo Japan nor Nintendo of America have done the same thing to their profiles. So both here for the Japanese Nintendo account and the American, they've kind of left it the same, haven't messed with it, which is pretty awesome to see. Even Major League Baseball dropped the pride flag after like 1 day. And they've actually changed it a few times. This one here says Lou Gehrig Day, and then now it says the London World Baseball Classic, I think. I can't remember what's going on right now for baseball, but they've changed it again since then to a completely different thing. But we've seen some insane stuff coming out of 343 Studios over here with Halo, promoting, we'll say, different lifestyles. And then, of course, they turned off the comments on their post on Twitter. So it said, Happy Pride Month, embrace love, diversity, and inclusion by equipping the Unity 24 armor coating nameplate and emblem in Halo Infinite this June. Let's stand together in honoring our LGBTQIA+ community and forging a future of unity and acceptance for all. And then they disabled the comments, so nobody could reply to it. Now we're seeing what could be the most insane, horrible idea ever created when it comes to the pandering to the alphabet mafia on Twitter, on social media, in video games. And this article from Bounding into Comics says, Activision Blizzard releases free Pride Month weapon skin bundle for Call of Duty. New cosmetics include transgender flag cover for bullets. And I shit you not, this is a real thing. So you see these weapons here with these horrifyingly awful skins on them. Now look, I've played a lot of games where they have, custom skins you can either earn through the battle pass or get the free ones, or you can purchase the upgradable, cosmetics. And sometimes it's fun to get something that looks a little different, a little cool. This makes me want to throw up looking at this crap. This is disgusting looking. This is horrible. But of course, it doesn't stop there. You see, you've got the weapon camo here with the transgender pride flag, all the different pride and loving and inclusive flags here you can put on your weapons. But then you get to this thing here, and this is what's really kicked off a lot of controversy online: the transgender coded bullets. Now, I'm going to ask this question: if we had for Easter, for Easter, or for, let's say, for the Jewish holidays, for Hanukkah, let's say we have an Israeli flag or a Star of David on these, would that be okay? What if we put a big freaking Orthodox cross on here for the Christians for Easter? What if we did that? No, you'd have people freaking out going, you can't put religious symbols on a bullet. That's like, you're saying that it's okay for one religion to kill another. Well, what about this? This is essentially a religion in itself. This belief that you can just magically wake up one day and be whatever you want to be, and then you slap that onto a bullet, that's no different than putting a religious symbol on there. It's all religion and ideology. But of course, this has caused a lot of controversy online, and Call of Duty is already a game that's been chasing every possible market that exists. There's a reason that there's such a large fan base, because they've been trying to cater to this massive, diverse fan base for so long. I mean, kudos to them. Activision's tried their hardest to appeal to a wide market. Unfortunately, they're pissing off just as many people as they're attracting. And Smash JT actually has an article on this on his website as well. Go check it out. Highlighting the wonderful, amazing games journalist Alyssa Mercante, of course, standing up for this decision. So here's this tweet from Alyssa saying, "Let me remind you, these people," and when she said these people, she's talking about people like me criticizing this decision to put transgender coding on bullets. "These people are hateful, mean fearmongers drawing connections that don't exist to continue their attack of marginalized people. May they be shunned forever. Anyone with critical thinking skills knows that there are not several, quote, several mass shootings tied to trans folks. Anyone having a conversation in good faith knows that the majority of mass shooters are cis white men. Peddling anything else is dangerous." Now, I'm not going to break down all the crime statistics of different interracial crimes, who commits more violent crimes per capita, which group is responsible for the most against certain demographics. The reality is, the way mass shootings are tracked is a joke. Most people are killed, if we're talking about mass shootings, in gang shootings, gang warfare, in situations with handguns, not rifles. But again, the media likes to spin this narrative that, again, it's only these hillbillies out in the woods, these isolated, like, survivalist types with their arsenal full of rifles that, you know, look big and scary, that they're the ones doing most of the violent damage in this country. When the reality is it's further than that. Like, nothing could be further from the truth than what the average violent crime looks like. But again, Alyssa Mercante, she's not going to care about facts and all that. She's going to go with feelings and emotion over logic and facts because she's not an actual journalist. So, of course, she got into it with grummz. Grummz, of course, pointed out and said, "Did you think this one through, Activision? We just started Pride and we already have the worst virtue signal of the year." Again, addressing this whole thing with the bullets. Alyssa decided to quote tweet him here saying that Activision and Call of Duty are being sued by the Uvalde family lawyers, which is a current court case. If you're not aware, the Uvalde shooting that happened a couple years ago, the victims' families are suing Daniel Defense that makes a lot of different weapons, Call of Duty, Activision, for basically video games cause violence. That's this thing that we've thought we were past, you know, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, that people kept, you know, claiming, oh, video games cause violence. Well, apparently they're trying to sue Activision, Call of Duty, and Daniel Defense. So she quote tweets him and says, "You're effing disgusting." So he responded and said the debate gained further traction when grummz highlighted several instances of mass shootings involving transgender individuals, and he pointed out Colorado, Denver, Aberdeen, Nashville, just some examples of people who identify differently. And he said just to name a few recent ones, the ones played down by mass media and not given attention due to how they did not fit a specific narrative. grummz tweet suggested that several is an accurate descriptor for these incidents, suggesting that Activision's move is ill-timed and inappropriate. And I would agree. And look, I don't want to be the person to say that you can't, you know, coat whatever cosmetic you want to on any weapon or any ammo type or whatever, and just enjoy yourself and customize everything. Look, I have several rifles that I have built from scratch, customized, tweaked, you know, changed the parts around, added parts afterwards, and it's fun to be able to customize things, especially to make them look a certain way. They're very cool. But do I think that this one is a little tone deaf? It does seem a little, I don't know, a little extreme, if I'm being perfectly honest. But of course, this is something that is an Activision virtue signal, which we've seen a lot of times from these big companies. You see this leaked internal email from Activision declaring that there's power in Pride. And of course, it goes on to say that games are a powerful medium for expressing identity and fostering connections. They allow us to tell diverse stories and create inclusive spaces. So to them, that means let's slap a bunch of rainbow shit on a bunch of weapons and go shoot each other. This internal memo from Activision, that's what that means. It's like, yeah, we're going to be inclusive, so let's go into a game and kill each other looking like our own freaky weirdo selves. Alyssa Mercante, though, getting back to her, this is just the most recent in a long history of her just acting completely insane. Most recently, she's been trying to crowdfund, supposedly, to sue Smash JT for his coverage of her, and she's been very critical of those of us who have been talking about her in the past. So it's not surprising to see her jumping all over the situation, taking the opposite side of the discussion, even when the reality is there shouldn't have to be sides to this. You can look at it and say, look, a certain demographic of people in this country make up a tiny percentage, and yet there's a very, very real statistic attached to them that doesn't look so good or paint them in such a flattering light. And maybe virtue signaling to them with ammo coded to look a certain way to fit their ideology, maybe it's not a great look. I don't know. It could just be something that we should all agree is a little concerning. But of course, she's not going to hear that. She's just going to reach out and attack the gamers, attack grummz, attack anybody who is against diversity and against the virtue signaling. But I'm going to wrap it up right there. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Is this just Activision acting completely out of touch, or do you think this isn't as big a deal as most of us are making it out to be? Let me know what you think about all this, and I will catch you guys later. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.